It picks up with Tucker and Dale just getting out of prison.
I'm all jacked because
He's all jacked because he's been in prison.
Yeah. I got tattoos all over. And
I've spent my incarceration in an insane asylum. I convinced them it was insanity.
Mentally incompetent.
And I get addicted to a lot of pills.
Yeah.
So I come out high as a kite.
Do you think there's a chance for an actual movie sequel? Welcome to I Love You So Much. My name is Reed Fish. I'm here with my good friend Tyler Labine.
Hi, everybody.
Tyler, we're back.
We're back.
Is
Oh my
so
God.
exciting. It's been a few weeks.
It's our
We're in the
season
new
2.
year.
Yeah.
We're kind of season 2, I guess we are calling it. But
We can call it that, yeah.
Yeah, but and also the new studio.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
stoked. Studio 1042 has been working on this for months and months.
Yeah.
We're finally back in our studio. We got our candles going again. It feels good to be home.
It's same, but different. You know, like it looks the same, vibey the same, but it's much spacier. We have a lot more room.
And it feels good to be back with you.
Yeah, you
and
too, buddy.
and it's great to be with Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, we're kicking it off season 2 with
yeah.
Alan Tudyk.
This is season 2.
We brought out the big guns for season 2. So this
You're
is
the big guns, Alan.
man.
the big guns.
You need me to flex.
Yeah. So, Alan, I don't know if you know, you probably haven't watched the podcast. But,
Yes.
Well, we start every episode
Thanks.
with confessions.
Right.
I don't know if you brought one or if you want to come up with one on the spot.
Okay.
But we demand one.
Okay.
There's no getting out of this one. So, do you want me to kick it off, Reed?
Sure.
You seem like you're opening it up.
Well, mine is, I realized over break, there's nothing, no big incident happened, but like, I'm a quote unquote funny dad.
Mm-hmm.
And my confession is I don't always need to be so funny as a dad.
Yep.
There's two things that can happen. There's moments where, and maybe your kid is like upset about something that you're like, this is so ridiculous. And, and so I'm going to try to make a joke out of it because they can't really be that upset about this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out they are.
Yeah.
I want to give them space for that and be like, hey, this is what's going on in your world and it's upsetting. That's totally okay. And I'm here to support you.
Yeah.
And so I think there's those moments where I just need to pull back a little more. And I do a pretty good job. I'm not always just joking around. But then also I've felt like sometimes I need to be the funny dad around her and her friends.
Oh.
And I think that can be embarrassing.
Yeah.
And like in a way
and
where
who's
it's
that
not
feeding? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. There was one moment over the winter break where I think I wasn't trying to like show off or say, I said something that I knew she didn't want me to say to somebody else and I didn't think she heard or whatever. And it was just like, she got kind of upset with me.
Right.
And I think it was very valid.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so it's just a reminder to myself that I don't always need to do that I can pull back. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like not getting a laugh is okay.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard.
I can feed my soul in other ways.
Yeah.
So my plan of action to get better about this is just to take a moment before I speak sometimes. And especially in moments where, and it's hard because you're rapid fire joking or whatever, but I can always pull back a little.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
That's a good confession, man. And really relatable. I mean, I have 3 kids and I'm like, I like to be the funny dad as well. And I'm like, my kids bought me a book. This is so embarrassing, but they bought a book, like a little funny, like, gimmick book. And it says, my dad thinks he's funny. And on the cover, it's a dad with like 2 beer bottles on his eyes at the sink, like looking at his kids. And they're like, oh my God. And I was like, is this what you guys think? I'm like, I'm funny. People pay me to be funny. I'm like,
No,
all
Dad,
right,
you're just drunk.
Yeah, you're just drunk all the time.
They pay you to be funny reading someone else's jokes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. I can't do them on my own. But I think I had this moment a little too recently, honestly, where I was like, oh God, when I do that, I'm really just making moments about myself.
Yeah.
Like if we're in like a safety meeting on set and I have to like crack a little joke, I'm like, I'm just making that whole moment about me. Or like, I've done that so many times in my life where
Is that?
I think I'm easing tension in a group or I'm doing whatever, but really I'm just making that moment about me. If for a second I want everybody's, so there's like with kids, I think there's this, you really have to ask yourself, like, who's that for? I grew up with a funny dad who I really respect him for being funny, but there were a lot of times where I was like, that was like at my expense maybe, or that was like, maybe you should have thought about what you said a little more before trying to get this room to laugh at your kid.
Yep.
He still kind of does it, honestly. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
Reed.
well, you're welcome. You got one?
Yeah, I got one. This whole episode is going to be very confessional for me. There's been a lot happening in the world and in my life, but the one that I think is the most sort of applicable to our show is that I'm putting out this EP, like I've talked about. I'm putting out an album under my...
You have an artist name?
Yeah, it's 2-Person Sex Cult, TPSC, even though there's only one person in it. But
Wow.
Yeah, and the album is called Pockets in Old Jackets. But you know, when you put on an old jacket and you find like a ticket from a concert you went to like 11 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, I haven't worn this jacket in 11 years. I think the old pockets and jackets they're just magical. So I'm putting out this EP, and I've been producing music my whole life. You and I even like recorded a couple things when we were shooting Tucker and Dale. Yeah, but like we've both been musical for a long time.
Well, you more so than me, but yes.
And I've been in bands and I've been producing music since I was 20. And my whole life has been like, I'm going to put out an album. I'm going to put out an album. And I just never have. I've never believed in myself enough, or I've like waited for permission or collaborations or whatever to like make something of substance. And I finally did it. I'm putting out this EP. I worked really hard on it. And I signed a deal with this like distribution micro label called Symphonic in New York. They're like, they want to get syncing going. They're champing at the bit. And I'm just like not pulling the trigger. I'm just like sitting on this deal. And I have all the masters. I have everything there. My people that I'm working with are like, yeah, just send them over and we'll get everything started. And I just did it yesterday. I could have done this 3 months ago. Like how long ago did I say I got that deal? On the drive here today, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I afraid of? What am I dragging my ass for? And I think it's because I'm just afraid that it's going to flop. It's going to be a failure or this thing that I said I was going to do my entire life. And I put it out and it's a failure. And then I thought, no, it's deeper than that. Like, what if I put it out and it's a success? And I had 27 years of my life not believing in myself or not. And I know that you get to where you are organically, and I wouldn't have made the music that I did if I didn't go through the journey I've been on. But like, there's just this fucking melee in my mind of like, what the fuck? Why am I not just doing the thing? I've got people who want to pay me to put out my music, and I'm still kind of like, got like a team of people who are like, no, this is it. Put this out. And I'm still like, yeah, just give me a sec. I'll get to it. And I'm not a procrastinator like some people.
Whoa.
No, because we've discussed that on the show.
Of course.
And I just feel like there's something big there that's like, I think it is deep.
Yeah.
It's on a deeper level.
That's that's procrastination. That's where it comes from in me too. And it's like, it's not always about that one thing, but
it's
a deeper thing. It's a deeper thing. It's not just being a lazy ass.
So that's my confession is I think I'm afraid of success or rejection. I don't know. They're both terrifying.
You have put the music out because one of those songs is the music we play on the show.
I have teased the lead single on the EP as the theme song for this show. But I think my plan of action is to just execute the deal, sign all the required paperwork, and get everything released like right away.
Alan, did you have time to come up with a confession now?
Yours are both so deep.
Well, not always.
Mine is, I had confess at the Zootopia 2 premiere.
Okay.
They had
you were in it.
I did get to do a couple of voices, which is fantastic. Part of the decoration at the premiere was fish and stuff like that. Yeah. And they had a bunch of these foam fish, and I stole one.
Whoa.
Well, that's actually a crime you're confessing on our
exactly.
But now
it
we
was
have to
this
report
big,
you.
and I respect Disney, and I've been to, I don't know, I think I just got to a point where I'm like,
you owe me.
I've been here.
Right.
They probably wouldn't mind if I had this.
No.
I don't know what they're going to do with this after they're done with it. That was more my, what are they going to do with this
I'm
after
saving this
done?
from the landfill.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I mean, I don't have it anymore. I gave it away to a fan. But signed it and gave it to a fan.
I've seen you do that. It's very generous of you.
Yeah.
Especially when you're stealing props. Signing them and
gave it to a fan.
Because what are you going to do with it too? You know what I mean? Like, that's a fair question. What are they going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You actually gave it to someone who's going to be like, holy shit, Alan Tudyk gave me this fish.
Yeah.
And so I was promoting the movie, I guess,
made their
ultimately.
day. Yeah, absolutely.
But that was illegal. I did break the law.
Aren't you in every Disney animated movie? I read this. I was looking at your IMDb page last night, and there was in the trivia part, which is 100% factual, true, no possible way it could be wrong. Yeah. It said that you're like the good luck charm for Disney animated movies, and you're in every single one.
You're the Ratzenberger of Disney, right?
I'm the rat. Yes. Yeah. I haven't played a rat. Yes. No. I see.
Yes. Joe Ratzenberger. The dude who does a voice in every Pixar.
That was Patton Oswalt who played the rat. Tui.
Yes. Ratatouille. No, I'm doing
anyway.
You're
I did a voice in Wreck-It Ralph was the first movie that I did.
King Candy.
And then I was in. They said, hey, we're making a musical that has just been sitting on the shelf. It's about a frozen world, We'll see if it's any good. Frozen. And I did the Duke of Wesselton and Frozen. And then they said, why don't you just be in the rest of them? I don't know how it happened, but I'm going to keep doing it.
I think talent probably has a little something to do with it.
Yeah, but I didn't start out to be a voiceover actor. It takes acting.
Yeah.
So I had that part. And I definitely, even when I'm acting, I tend to do a lot of accented roles.
Yeah.
I was primed to go into that business.
Yeah.
But I got to learn in Disney. I got to learn with the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like I sharpened my tools with great directors and great story artists, and just went along for the ride the whole time. And they come out so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their commitment to excellence. Everybody is, striving, but they have it down. So
yeah, they do for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a cool way to learn, isn't it? Like on
God.
the job. Yeah.
And you're getting paid. Yeah.
Although you are a Juilliard alum. You've graduated. Yeah. So you've got some training.
I trained my voice. I started out, when I went to Juilliard, when I would have a couple of beers, people would go, where are you from?
Yeah.
I was from Dallas, and I'd have a little bit of Texan come out. They would teach you how everything works, like the sounds of things. Like I remember them saying "a" is a combination of two sounds. It's "eh" and "I." It's like no, it's not. No, it's not. It's "a." And then you go "a." Oh man,
yeah.
And so you're pulling sound apart like that, and that helps you when you're doing voices.
Yeah, my partner is an SMU alum, and she graduated the theater department there.
Dallas.
Yeah, she lived there for 12 years. You guys have to meet. On the way out of the door this morning, she was like, say hi to Alan for me. So Martha says hi, and I was like, you guys have to fucking meet each other,
I used
man.
to live over by there.
Yeah. SMU is like a bit of a factor, like a talent factory. There's so many people I know that came out of SMU. Yeah.
I have a connection to SMU.
Yeah.
It was a big part of helped me in my life. There were a couple of graduate students from SMU. This is a long time ago, before your partner was there.
Probably.
So I don't know, teachers, what was happening. This was like 1991.
Okay.
I was living in Dallas. I had gone to a small school before Juilliard and in Texas, and I had bad teachers. I moved to Dallas. I was in an improv comedy troupe. I was like, I'm just going to make it as an actor now from Dallas. And I got a job from these two SMU graduates. They had written and they were co-directing a play. And it was about AIDS. It was in 91. And there was a monologue that they assigned me in it because there was a lot of vignettes and a lot of different things. I did one rehearsal and they said, it's like a rap. And the rap was...
You still remember the rap. I love it.
Well, I remember some of it. The basic idea of it was like, I give him my fuck. He takes my dick. Whoa. That is my fuck. It is. And I did this and they... More, get it into your, and we worked for like a half hour. Yeah, it gets my fuck, and when people look at me, they're like rap star, and they saw that, and they really got me into that place, and I left there and said that was awful.
Yeah, not doing that again.
And I don't know why. I know certain reasons why it was awful, but I don't know the way you should do that. I don't know enough. I don't know anything.
Right.
And I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to school in New York because I like the idea of New York.
Yeah.
And I quit the play that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's how. But
little did you know, someone from Juilliard was there, saw the monologue, and
this guy.
That's a good audition.
This guy
piece.
Wants our fuck.
Yeah, he wants our.
Yeah. I gotta say, this just reminded me of when I came and did my little thing on Con Man, and you were like, hey, I want you to beatbox in this one scene. Oh, and I was like, yeah, beatboxing is a piece of cake for me. And I just couldn't, I don't know if you remember, I could not get it on. It was supposed to be like, I came in for this little beatbox interlude and then Mindy comes in right away or someone comes in.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't.
Leslie
Jordan. Leslie. And I could not fucking get it. And I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, but only you knew you weren't getting it.
I guess.
Or I guess maybe Carissa knew.
Carissa knew. She was like, it's
my wife.
There, I was like, yeah,
she's
why
a
am I not doing that? And she was like, no, yeah.
She's
and then
she can hear the.
And then I also wanted to ask you this too.
Yeah.
You had me sing "Death Be a Comin' Down," and you made me sing this thing, and I always wondered, like, did you write that earlier, or did you just come up with that then and there? Because it was genius.
That's one of my favorite things.
There's like someone's dead on stage.
It just needed a thing.
Some reverie. And Alan was like, can you sing like a thing, like a eulogize and be a song? And Alan was like, and I couldn't come up with anything. Alan was like, just here, say, death be a come down. Death, and then go even deeper. Death be a come down.
It was Of Mice and Men, the musical. I was stupid.
That's right. And I played an owl as well.
You played the owl excellently.
Thank you.
And you were the guy who kills Curly's old dying dog. And the second best motion capture artist was playing the dog. Nolan North was playing Jerry Lansing. He wanted to play, so he played the dog. And because he's an overactor, he wouldn't die. So you come out, you shoot him in the head. It's so brutal. And he does a thing and then dies. And then we had you sang, "Death be a come down." When he'd come back alive.
Shoot him again.
And he'd start to animate again. And then you didn't know what was happening. And you
shoot him again.
Shoot him again.
Yeah.
And then you go back into Death Be a Coming Down. Oh my God, that's so much fun.
That was funny.
I had so much
I think
fun
I was
with
supposed to be like a Foley guy or something. I was like,
yes.
My character was good with sound effects, and I'm just not. It was like supposed to make like a door opening sound effect and all this shit. And I was like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, who knows where those ideas were coming
Anyway.
from. This is a terrible story. Maybe this is my confession.
Okay.
Let's
Yes.
yes.
I love
This
this.
is an old
Can we zoom in?
confession. There are these two young women. They were extras in the show. They were sort of featured extras because, and this was back before, well, one of the characters, Jerry Lansing was a misogynist, or he was he was always hitting on women, which is a type at cons. More of a used to be type. Things have changed. But there used to be guys who would just go to these cons that were celebrities and use it as an opportunity to hook up with fans. And fans also would use it as an opportunity to hook up with people that they liked from their things that they watch. So used to be a lot more sex at those things, I feel like. Maybe there still is, and I just
I'm
don't.
not privy to it.
Not privy, but yeah, it used to be. It must be much more.
Next time you guys go, I'll come with you.
We're going this weekend.
People were just hooking up.
Yeah.
Everybody was hooking up. So there were these two girls that he had brought with him. We're all getting locked in this cellar or in the basement. So their door closes. It's like, oh God, the door closed again, and then they're part of the play. So anytime somebody wanders down, they end up becoming part of the play. So he's got these two women who are there. We were just trying to get people into costumes because there was a hoedown, and a prop person said, "Hey, Alan, I've got a mustache. Who do I put it on?" And I was like, and I looked, and the two girls were there, and they didn't have any hoedown stuff on. And I said, "Put it on one of them." And she goes, "Which one?" I said, "The one with less personality."
In earshot of the women?
No.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Creative shorthand.
So that it would give her more of a character, I guess. But I was then doing something. I turned over and I saw this girl with this huge handlebar mustache,
I remember that.
just looking annoyed and sort of vacantly off in the distance. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the one with less personality? Oh, that's awful." But that was me. That was my bad director moment. Like, just not treating people like human beings. I don't know, whichever one doesn't have a sparkly personality.
That'll fix it.
That fixes it.
Yeah.
Now I know who you are.
Well, facial hair fixes everything.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
yes.
It covers up a lot of my flaws.
Con-Man was fun. It was very hard. I gave myself way too many jobs. I was editing season 1 of Con-Man while I was shooting Rogue One.
Wow.
I got done and we shot season 2, and then I went back to do the reshoots for Rogue One that were so long, and then I started a TV show at the same time called Powerless. So I was doing all when Rogue One came out, I was doing Powerless plus that, and we were making a video game, and I was writing comics.
Look at all the work.
Yeah.
It was way too much. I got shingles. I ended up.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it differently though.
You'd do it differently, yeah.
I would ask for more help from others.
Yeah.
Why do you think the first time around you didn't know how to ask for that kind of help?
I was afraid to ask directors for help because I was afraid they would say no.
Like, is that because you think you undervalued your relationships, or like
That 100%. Nobody knows who they.
Yeah.
it's hard to know who you can rely on in general, but in this
It's not hard to know what people think of you, and like, and you know, what we all have the imposter syndrome a little bit, and you know all that, right?
Yeah.
So it's award season right now, and I got invitations. You know, you get invitations to parties.
and
Hate it. Don't want to go to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not nominated. But there's a whole group of people there's parties, they need people to go. And they figure, this guy over here, Alan, he probably has clothes he can put together. He knows how it works.
Yeah.
Carissa's like, we should go out. Let's go to these big parties. You're going to know people.
Yeah.
And it is everything, took everything to get me out of the house. I so didn't want to, God, until we were there and I was seeing people I hadn't seen in a long time.
And you enjoyed yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, right?
But it's because I'm like, I don't belong here. And I felt like I was like at the first part of it, like it was like middle school where I'm at the dance and I don't know who to talk to. And there's my friends aren't there yet. And that girl over there, I just
That's how all of the industry feels to me. Always have. I've always been like, in fact, I went out of my way to prove people right when I was younger. I would show up to events and red carpets like wearing trash. Wearing like ripped up, because I just was like, they're just going to see through it anyway. And I think I kind of fucked myself in some regards that way because of the imposter syndrome was so loud for me. I was like, I don't belong here and they're going to know it right away. So I just sabotaged myself.
It's amazing that there are people that you'll come across that have the opposite thing. I'm sure they're very insecure, but that are like, hey, go real big and coming right in and handshakes and stuff, overly complimentary to where I remember being, especially early on in my career, like, oh God, tone it down. You're so obvious, but that they end up doing very well because everybody wants to hear that they're great. They're great.
Yeah.
And everybody's insecure.
Glad handing,
so
man.
even if it's somebody coming up and just laying it on, they're confident enough to tell you, hey, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody's insecure enough to think,
which
I am.
And that's the thing, like the honesty, the learning to say the thing at those events used to feel like fucking corny, like cornball. Now I'm like, well, what do I have to lose? I'm going to tell you I'm a fan of yours. I think you're awesome, or you did a great job in that thing. And like, genuinely, I think most people are like, hey, thanks, man. I didn't expect you to say that, but it's so hard to do that.
Because when people do it to you, you know how it feels.
It's like, but I also, the little bit of it it gets in for sure. But what I'm saying, that old recoil mechanism sometimes still kicks in where I'm like, but then I'm like, you're being sincere. You're actually just trying to be a nice human being. In this vein, I was telling Reed this before you got here, Alan. Like, I have carried around an imposter syndrome with you since I met you, and like I want this ends nicely. By the way, I want to say, good. I think I always
I was an imposter. Go on.
I always saddled myself as like a guy you got sort of attached to by accident. Like we're Tucker and Dale forever. You know what I mean? People have tattoos of us on their legs and like hundreds
Where
of
on the leg?
high inner thigh for sure. I don't know why you never gave me reason to do that, to feel like I would put myself in some lower category than you. And in fact, I realized like today, I'm like, you have showed up for me over and over and over again. Like repeatedly. You even did my shit talking podcast and you were like, I don't want to talk about shit, but I'll do your thing.
That's right.
You did. And today I said to Martha, I was like, I think Alan is actually a really good friend of mine. And it was hard for me to say. I was like, because we don't see each other that much. And when we do, I'm like, I always feel really good with you. And like, but like, you do the things that friends do. You don't do things obligatorily because you're like, I have to do this because this shithead's asking me to do a thing. You show up for me, I think, because you probably care for me. And I think that's really special, man. And I think it's like framing a thing in a different way as I get older. I'm like, you've been a really good friend of mine for a long time, and I really appreciate you. I
love you, buddy.
Wanted to say that, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Well, and it was in that kind of the context too, where I was like, but you and Alan, you're kind of, someone. He's like, oh man, no, he's Alan Tudyk.
I don't even know what that is, man.
It is there. Look, there is objectively there is truth to that. Alan is a very respected member of the community, and
that's okay. Look. All right, Tucker and Dale.
Let's talk
Tucker and Dale.
Let's talk turkey.
So Tucker and Dale is your movie.
Meaning it's Dale is the main character.
Dale is the main character. Yeah. Also, you were in it for, I think, a long time.
Yeah. I was involved before,
Yeah, there were versions of Tucker's that came and went.
Jason Sudeikis was the one right before you,
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was even others I heard about.
Yeah, it's one of those roles that a lot of people love to tell people, like, I was almost Tucker. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Russell Crowe was almost Tucker. It was Jason Sudeikis. He left the film just before Principal Photography. Yeah, 2 weeks before Principal Photography took place. I just got the audition and I read it And it was an audition. It wasn't like, will the great Alan Tudyk please grace us with his, it was like audition with the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
I auditioned. I think there was even can you do it a little bit more like this? And I changed my approach, and I got the job and was there, and we had 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
2 days to become best friends.
Yeah.
Was how, and it was immediate. It was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. And we did go to work on it too. We were getting into what accents we wanted, and we decided to go with your default Texan accent, because I was like, we were going to do West Virginia, and we were like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was going to do more West Virginia Southern, and then it immediately became Texan. It's like, I don't know.
I was just like, I have to do what he does. We're best friends, so I just followed you. Yeah.
We had just one 12-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
6-pack. It wasn't even 12-pack.
It was a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Make the
That's
movie
all
work.
Pabst would give us we were like, we're going to put you in the movie. They're like, hey, great, here's the 6-pack. They wouldn't give us any more.
Actually, I did notice in like the truck, when you saw you were drinking the truck, it just said beer on it. And then later
we
in
could
the
only
movie, it's
actually
actually
open.
Pabst.
So we only had 6 to actually open on camera.
Right.
Yeah.
And Alan, I think you opened all of them. I think there's one on your face. There's
2
one
were in my trailer.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a rough one.
You guys couldn't just buy more Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yeah, it was about getting it over the border was part of it.
There was some issue
you
with
shot in
Pabst.
Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
I don't know what their beef is with Pabst. But it was.
Because I was
Pabst in
like, you
Canada,
weren't
it's
that
not-
broke at that time. You could have. I mean, Pabst is cheap.
It was a pretty broke production, man.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was
yeah.
that. It was more that there was like an allotted
Got
free
it.
amount, and they were like, let's just use that.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that came from Pabst.
Right.
And so a lot of the times we would just fake opening the beer on camera, and they would put a sound effect in, and it was just water in there. Anyway,
I
you were
poured
saying
one on my face.
Yeah, that was real.
That was real.
Yeah.
The one that I was drinking in the hospital was real.
That was a big money shot for Pabst, because that was the one with the straw in there, and you had the little lady finger.
right.
and
Because I had to put you put the straw in there for me.
your favorite
And then I
sipping
drank
utensil.
it, and I felt what getting drunk while acting was like. It wasn't a good thing.
No.
Oh,
Some people
interesting.
love it. But yeah, Tucker and Dale, like when you showed up, it's funny you said like it wasn't like the great Alan Tudyk. Eli was like fucking ecstatic that you were doing it.
Yeah.
So I think it was like there was like some protocol involved there that didn't have a lot to do with Eli. It was more people we don't talk about that much who were like kind of like, well, we got to get people to read or whatever.
I see.
And I think Eli was like, well, this is like the dream guy for this role.
I was trying to figure out why that was that you were being so like, Alan.
Yeah.
What is that?
I was stoked. I remember you came on and I was like, oh my God, it's Alan Tudyk. And I'm like, big fan. And you showed up and I was like, hey man, I'm a big fan of your work. And you're like, I don't know who you are.
That's why people think he must be good because he's a dick.
No, but it was this very meta. It was like, there was a real tongue in cheek. You were just like, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry, man, but let's go. But we very quickly fell into those roles, man. Like I remember one of the first things we shot was the gas station scene.
Yeah.
With the college kids, but even more specifically, the pickled eggs in the back of the truck.
So you're saying that you said
Let's go back.
earlier that you are allergic to eggs.
Yeah.
How many eggs did you eat that day?
Man, I've said publicly, I think about a dozen, maybe more.
Oh, geez.
Because they were like every take, I was basically eating an egg.
Yes.
Right.
And I actually, this is funny. I've said this before
It's
too.
like you're the Paul Newman of Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Finally. I ate so many of them. And on a couple of them, I do a little choke when Tucker tells me to go talk to the girls. And I got pickled egg up in my sinus. And that resulted in a sinus infection, which resulted in this, like my eustachian tubes closing. So by the end of the film, I actually couldn't hear. They wanted me to like go get ear candling. There was a doctor on set who was giving me antibiotics. Both my eustachian tubes in my ears were totally closed. So the final fight scene and the scene with Katrina where I'm kissing her, it was like all I could hear was my own bass in my voice. I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Did you guys shoot this in order?
We shot the end pretty chronologically,
yeah,
but no,
okay.
we did not shoot in order. But yeah, that was so pickled eggs in me. Not only did I have the shits, I also got a horrible sinus infection from those eggs.
My God.
Fuck pickled eggs. Man. And also, they taste like ass. They're not good. Yeah.
I'd never seen this.
Yeah,
movie.
they're a new fans.
and everyone on the crew.
Cool.
We had never seen it, so I just watched it the other night, and it was. I told Tyler it's really good, and I wasn't anticipating that it wouldn't be, but I liked it even more than I thought, and I think I can see why it has had the legs that it's had, and I think it still holds up. The thing that struck me the most about it was actually how it relates to this show, because I really felt like it's just a sweet film, and it's about friendship, and it's about male friendship, and actually being super non-toxic. Like they're
Yeah,
like good
yeah.
guys, and they have their little bickers and whatever, but you know they love each other.
Yeah.
And do they love each other in other ways? Maybe. I mean, I don't
What?
know.
They were retiring together.
I'm halfway through my fanfic. About,
Yeah,
okay.
The point is, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
could
no,
be- it's
exactly.
just
And
love,
that's the
man.
point is,
Yeah.
is it doesn't matter. It just struck me as just being so sweet.
We certainly worked to achieve that. I mean, especially by the end with with Alan, with the big scene with him saying, "Hey, man, like I know I tease you and say all this shit, but you know you're
Right.
you're smarter than you think you are." And all that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever played a sweeter character than Dale,
He
like a
was.
softer character. You know, I think that was a very intentional. We baked that into the cake where it was like, okay, these are two guys who really do love each other, and it's like
Yeah.
at the end of the film,
Yeah, and that's what the movie's about
Yeah.
ultimately,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And so that's I think why it has legs. I know it's clever, I know it's all this stuff, but you watch it and you're like, oh, I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, not like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This got more than meets the eye for sure. I remember when we first met to do the movie, other than you telling me you had no idea who I was, you were like, this movie has such potential, you know, but it's going to be really fucking hard to pull off. You were like, there are so many balls to keep in there. Really just one,
Yeah.
but we have to reinvent that ball over and over and over
Yeah.
again to make it, you know. And I remember at the point I was like, right, I hadn't really thought about how difficult the journey of the humor of the movie was going to be, and like the nuance of what we had to do, and like what your job specifically was and what my job specifically was very different in the movie.
Right.
I remember thinking like, oh God, like, yeah, we have like a potentially like a really amazing film on our hands. And then by the time we left, you and I were like, who fucking knows, man? Who fucking knows? Like we put in a lot of work. Who knows? And then
dude.
we went to a screening at Jim Henson Studios. Remember,
Right,
like the first
yes.
one. We left you and I, and we were both like, "There's like an hour of that movie that's like kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Like 50 minutes of the movie just like fucking cooks." But we had no idea.
Yeah.
Like,
we were shooting so many things at once.
oh my God, it was
We
complicated.
were doing 1 take, 2 takes, and then towards the end, he started to loosen up and let us have a few more takes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was one of the early nights, the one where you dove in the water.
Oh
to
my
save
God,
Katrina.
hypothermia.
We had shot something over by where we were doing the scene in the boat.
Yeah, in the boat. Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we hurry up because the night we only have so much time, and they moved everything over to get the stuff with the college kids, and they're like, oh, we forgot some shots over there.
Yeah.
And then they had to move everything back.
Oh.
That was the moment of,
Oh, shit.
no,
Yeah.
we might be in big trouble.
Yeah, there were a few of those moments. I remember where we shot a bunch of shit with your wrong fingers missing. Do you remember that? Yeah, there was a few scenes where we're like, "Fuck, those are the wrong bowling fingers on the wrong hand." And
Wrong
then,
hand.
yeah, and then there were ones
like, I
with
should've
the
caught
bee
that.
stings where we were like,
Oh, the beast.
"He doesn't have those yet, or he doesn't
Yeah.
have that degree." Or, so there was a lot of like
Yeah.
continuity where we were like, and I remember going to work freezing, and our clothes would be hanging in our rooms, and they were so soaked in blood
Yeah.
that they were like cardboard, and then
Yeah.
they would spray us down to re-wet the blood to
Yeah.
make them pliable so we could get into our
Wow.
clothes. There were some miserable parts of making that movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was a tough movie to make.
Yeah.
But I kept going to up to Lake Louise and hiking on the weekends, which was really nice. I did a good whitewater rafting after it was all over.
Yeah.
And it was a cool time. I knew my wife back then, but we weren't together. And she just texted me out of the blue saying, I was just up in Lake Louise, and she was headed out from Lake Louise, and I was on my way there. I was like, are you kidding me?
Ships
I'm
in the
almost going.
Did you see
I'm
each
on
other?
my
Did you
way.
meet?
No,
No.
but
Wow.
we had figured out where we were, and we were too far past each other, and we had to. The amount of time we had, we couldn't stop. But it was
Calgary's a magical place.
like, how weird. Yeah,
Lake
it was
Louise, man.
New year, new season, new us, new show.
yes.
Same Patreon, except it's going to be better. We are making a commitment in this new year. We're recommitting to our Patreon. We are so appreciate the support of everyone being there. We have a ton of new content planned. We have so many amazing guests, so many amazing
God.
episodes come in. And I got to be honest with everyone. It's happening, and it's happening with your support.
Absolutely.
And that's the way that we can keep doing these, is having that direct support from our audience, from you.
This show really enriches our lives, Reed and I,
Yeah.
and everybody here, and that's why we're here. And we're hoping that it does the same for you. Please come and show us some support.
So it's patreon.com/ILYSM pod. So Tyler is involved in this project for a long time, and then you're like, 2 weeks ahead of time, you get cast. And now all of a sudden you're fucking with Tyler for the rest of your life. And you didn't choose that. You didn't even know who he was, right? And so it's
Right
like,
now.
what is that like in a way? Like, how is it now to be like 15 years later?
Yeah.
But, and also within that, I mean, do you get sick of like the fact that it's 15 years later and we're still talking about this one movie?
I don't mind talking about it. Tucker and Dale, the unfortunate thing about the movie is it had the potential for much more.
Yeah.
Right.
It has this sort of ongoing, people find it and discover it and like it. It would have been neat if all of those people over the time had done it all at once.
Yeah. Right.
The bottom fell out of the economy right when we won the audience award at Sundance, right when when it started going, it was like, oh, nobody wants to buy a movie unless you have big stars in it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it didn't get distribution.
But we also like, and again, I don't want to talk out of school, but some of the people involved really mishandled the sale of that film. Not that they're going to be watching this, but there was a big like studio involved at one point, and we even saw all the test notes and the numbers, and we were like through the roof. It was like a 94% approval rating from the audience. It was going to happen, and then out of the blue, we all got that phone call like, no, it's not happening. The deal was rejected.
Oh, I've forgotten.
Yeah,
So rejected on your side.
Yes, the deal was turned down that was offered from this big studio because the people who had the movie thought, well, if they're going to do that, we can find even more.
Right.
And that's the story. It didn't get sold out of Sundance because of the same hubris. And there was a lot of people bidding to buy it out of Sundance because we won the audience award. It was like a kind of a surprise hit at Sundance, and then that was kind of rebuffed, and then it went up and up and up.
It's meant to be, just like our friendship, all of that. It's all meant to be. I feel like it's one of the things as actors you tell yourself, like, you don't get the role that it's obvious if you got that role, everything I've worked for my entire life would be paid off, and this is it. No. It didn't happen, and that's okay. You have to tell yourself it's meant to be. Something else is going to come along.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen plenty of times where I thought I had an opportunity to do one thing, I turn it down, or it doesn't happen for me because they decide you're not going to do this. And something else happens, or that movie then comes out, and the person who did get cast, they do a performance that you're like, oh, that's how that's done. Oh, I see. And it becomes a lesson, or it comes out and it's not anything that you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And there's so many versions. There's so many terrible versions in Hollywood where people get attached to things. They don't come out for years. They get squashed, and
you just never know.
Is that true for you though, Alan? Like, are you able to? I mean, because that is a hard lesson for a lot of people. Multiple lessons of like letting go of a thing, trusting that like there's a path that we're on that we really don't have that much control over.
Yeah,
it's hard to not cling on to those like the things and the bitterness. Do you find that you've gotten better at that as you've gotten older, or was that always kind of your mantra?
It's always been my mantra, but I've gotten better at it.
Right.
Because when you're young, you're hungry.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything. When I was young, I did a play and I got a lot of notice for it. And I then started getting auditions that were like, hey, maybe this is the next guy. And I wasn't ready for any of it. And so I just didn't, I couldn't get the things.
Yeah.
And then there were some that got away that'd be like, wow, if I get this, it really would make a difference. Because, you know, I was living in a small apartment in New York, and it's a struggle. Yeah. I did when I did that play, man, the play that got me, broke me out, I guess, in a way. Bunny in New York. It was about Gilda Radner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a 3-person play, and I played 20-something roles in the play.
Wow.
So 2 people played Alan Zweibel and Gilda Radner, and then I played everybody else in the play. So it was a real show-offy role.
Yeah, good one to break out from.
Yeah, it was very cool, and it made my career in theater. But we did it in Philadelphia first, and then brought it off Broadway. And between the Philadelphia production and the off Broadway production, I lost so much weight because I didn't have food.
Right. Shit.
Like food, man. It was like, wow, you lost a lot of weight.
I'm starving.
Yeah. Thank God we got the theater.
Yeah.
I was working in a trans bar. It's crazy, man. I found the name of it because I thought it was called Carla's 2, but it was called something else. And a lot of people who know bars like this in New York in the 90s are like, oh, which one?
Right.
Which one?
Yeah.
Where did you work? You were a bartender?
Yeah.
I know them all. Like, it was on 10th Avenue. Wait, what? 10th Avenue between 54th and 55th. No,
Huh? Yeah.
no, there wasn't one there. No, there was.
Yeah.
It was a bar for people, men. A lot of from New Jersey. It was right past the tunnel. You could come in from Jersey, and these were not like women or trans women who were all the time trans.
Right.
These were people with probably marriages,
Right.
and things over there, and
It's a
they're like
haven for them.
pantyhose over unshaven legs.
Right.
And it was a dive bar, and you would think a dive. People are like, oh, I love a good dive bar. No, not this one. All these plays are sort of circling over the few theaters that are in New York, hoping to land in one, and the theater owners get to choose who they're going to have. And we weren't going to get it, and I got the call, and I was like, I went down to the bar, and I was living on 10th Avenue, right above that bar, and I'd never been in, and I went in, and my friend joined me, and for scotch. In the middle of the day.
It's a great time for scotch.
I've got to get a job. I said,
Yeah.
I've got to go back to getting a regular job. I had been a bartender and a waiter before. And the guy behind the, I wish I remember his name. He was amazing white South African dude who full face of makeup, but, just kind of wore like sweatpants and stuff.
Right.
He was complaining about how this was his 5th shift in a row and he didn't have anybody working there. And I was like, well, I'm a bartender. I can bartend for you. He's like, great, come in tonight. He taught me a little bit that night, and the next night was my first shift, and he shadowed me. And my girlfriend was on Broadway at the time, and she said, I'll bring everybody by.
Who I think it was?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And so I'm there working, and there's 2 old black guys in the back, just like dudes, drinking vodka and milk. And not
I don't know why I like to read
tipping,
them like that.
and playing pool on a warped pool table.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was in there saying, I give my drinks for free. And he was like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
I give my drinks for free. And he would go, he doesn't get his drinks for free. Don't give him his drinks for free. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not gay. Just so you know, I'm not gay. I'm like, I don't
just get my drinks for free.
Yeah, so you're going to have to pay. And then there was a guy with leather and all these, you're hot. And, okay, Greg, what can I get you? You're hot. Well, that doesn't help. And it was such a wild, and the guy who I was shadowing kept going on and on about his time in La Cage aux Folles in Paris and how he had, I used to work at the circus. I was a tightrope walker.
Well.
I was a tightrope walker at the circus, and I own land in South Africa, but I won't let them hunt on it. No, I
for
won't
you.
let,
Good.
because I love the
Gotta have a bottom
zebras.
line, yeah.
I don't want them hunting the zebras. And halfway through the shift, I'm like, halfway through the shift, he's like, look, and he pulls out these photos, like a photo book. There's him on a tightrope with the bar. He's like, look how fat I am. Jesus. I'm so stoned in this picture. I was so stoned before I did the tightrope. Land in South Africa,
Yeah.
pictures of La Cage aux Folles, like it was all real. I told my girlfriend, like, you don't want to come here because they taught me how to pour the bad vodka in the Absolute. Because
yeah.
Absolute was the top shelf.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was terrible. The olives looked diseased. Anyway, I was like, do not come here with the cast, please. And she showed up anyway, and I'm like making not Absolute martinis for Alice and Janney in this place. That the next day, I got a call that the theater came through for Bunny, and I quit.
So you worked one shift?
I worked one shift. I quit. I was like, if I want to write a book, I could stay working there.
I need
Right.
one more.
Oh, you could probably write a book from that one shift.
There was
it
also
sounds
the
like.
guy who was like, I'm not gay. As the night went on, Chi-Chi the bitch was another woman who was there.
Chi-Chi the bitch?
She wanted to go duck hunting with me. I don't know why I told her. Anyway,
I do need one more clarification.
yeah.
So vodka and milk. Now, was
Yeah.
the milk a mixer, or were these 2 separate beverages that they would just
No.
alternate?
Does it
All
matter?
in one. All in one.
Well, it's like a
Vodka-
white
just
Russian,
never
right? I
heard-
mean, a white Russian is milk and Kahlua and vodka, isn't it?
Yeah,
do
yeah,
you have
but
the
just a
Kahlua,
little
though?
milk.
Right,
Yeah.
you
A lot
need
of
the
Kahlua.
syrupy.
Yeah,
It's like
I was just trying to picture what exactly that was.
It was
It
disgusting.
doesn't sound like a drink that, I mean, it was worth noting because it's the worst sounding drink of all time.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Vodka milk. Oh, vodka milk. I'm not gay.
Yeah, it was.
Gay guys don't drink vodka milk.
And my tips got stolen that night.
Oh.
What a shift.
It
And
was
then,
wild.
so from there,
Yeah. So
Bunny,
So your
break
journey
out.
from there to Tucker and Dale.
And how'd you, yeah, no, but, and then like, I always forget the theater was kind of the first.
Yeah.
That was the big love for you in the beginning. And
Yeah.
you still do some theater, right? I remember you were doing a play a couple of years ago that you were.
I did one here in L.A.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I'm going to move back to New York, though.
I know.
So maybe I'll get to do more
I'm
theater.
saddened by that. But
I have friends in New York that are directors, and I have low bar for what I want to achieve in New
Right,
York. I
right.
want to just do readings again. Because that's one thing you do in New York.
Yeah.
The playwrights need actors to read plays so they can hear them and make adjustments. And I just want to get back into that because you meet people that way, and it's a really fun community. To be
I
a
got
part of.
asked on my last season of New Amsterdam. You know the play Carol of Carol Gardens? Ever heard of that?
Yes.
So it's like a strange play about a woman named Carol, and she's got all these talking characters in her apartment, like her cat and her lamp, and these.
Cool.
And they were like, "We want you to come do a staged reading, in success, you would come to Broadway and do this, and that was going to be for investors and all this shit." And I said no. I turned it down because I was so scared. I was like, I can't do that, man. They're like, no, we think you'd be great for it. And it's just 5 days, and we'll rehearse for like 6 before we even read, and it's seated, and you can just read all the parts. And
A lot of rehearsal.
I know. But I said no, and I think I regret that. Even just to have that experience, to go and do that. But again, it was that fear
you
of
not
just
done
like,
theater?
you don't know what you've asked. You don't know who you've asked. This is the wrong guy. I couldn't be the right guy to do that. Wish I had, though.
You haven't done theater?
I did. Yes, I did theater in high school.
Yeah, so did I. We're
I
equivalent
played
there.
Petruchio in Taming the Shrew.
Right.
I played Demetrius in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Wow.
Basically just Shakespeare in high school. That's
Well,
it.
that's-
And then I played Gary Lejeune in
I love
Noises
it.
Off.
Just Shakespeare.
Noises
Yeah,
Off.
Shakespeare's not.
Noises Off was the fun one. I had,
Yeah.
there's a scene in Noises Off where I was playing Gary Lejeune, which was brought to life by the great John Ritter in the movie. Rest in peace.
Best role in that.
So
probably.
great. And there's
Well,
a part where he,
best male role.
yeah, one of the characters ties his shoes together, and then he tumbles down the stairs. And we thought that was a good idea to actually do that in this high school production. And we had built this huge rotating stage. It was like a facade of a house, and then on the inside behind it was the backstage. On like the second night, I think I tumbled down the stairs and I smashed my face on the ground, and I passed out on stage. And I woke up just in time for my cue, because he actually stays in the show. He is unconscious for a while, and I woke up in time. And I remember being like, and like everyone's looking at me, and it like just worked out. It worked out. It was like, that was the best performance. And my friends who were in the front row were like, "You were knocked out, right?" I was like, yeah, man, I was unconscious. I was like bleeding from my ear.
Yeah, the trickle of blood and
Yeah.
the slobber, probably.
Yeah. So yes, I've done theater.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm getting so mad at you.
I was, yeah. Well, you just were making it sound like you did.
It's something you pick it up again.
Yeah.
But like even I took a lot of years off before I did
Yeah,
it here.
it's terrifying, man.
I was like, there's moments where, because blocking is little glow tape on the floor, and there are moments where the scene ends,
Yeah.
lights go down, you've been in bright lights, so now you can't see.
Yeah.
And your job is to turn and start walking, because you got to get off stage to get changed and come on.
It's trust.
And
It's a
so
trust
it's
exercise.
just trust. You know, you're going to turn this much
Right.
and just start walking into darkness, and somebody's
Yeah.
going to be there to go, I
Yeah.
got you. I was like, oh, I forgot. There's a lot of just blind sort of striding into trust.
Actors get asked to do that a lot. Just
Blindly trust.
Just blindly trust and
Yeah.
walk into
Well,
that thing.
blindly trusting. I'm blindly trusting there's going to be a Tucker and Dale sequel.
Right.
You guys-
Nice segue. Yeah, that's good.
So can you fill us in on this possibility?
I've been telling these guys that the tumultuous journey for a sequel has been almost comical at this point. And then with the TBS deal
The
and like
TV,
all the
the TV thing was actually a pretty good idea.
yeah.
It was, but it got stomped. Respectfully.
Yes, always everything respectfully.
I was doing Resident Alien at the time, as you were doing Amsterdam. I was doing
Yeah.
Resident Alien, both NBC shows.
Yeah.
And that's who killed it.
Oh, I forgot about that. Which is like industry kiboshing on the worst level, where they just don't want to share a property.
yeah.
Everybody said yes until one person.
Yeah.
And then that one person had the authority and ability to go, no.
Yeah. And it was
so it was
specifically about us as performers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
and then,
the property. of
after
Tucker and Dale.
that, the chance of like, well, maybe we can renew it. And then TBS got it.
It was a cool idea, though. Do you want to?
It was took place post one, which is how twos usually work.
Yeah.
Although
and
sometimes
especially
prequels-
15
prequels
years
are great,
later,
man.
with you guys looking
Yeah.
a little different.
We had to
No,
explain well, he hasn't aged. I have.
no, you've got
Yeah,
to gain
it's
the
true.
weight back. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
Although we were talking
All
about me
the
being
work
like,
you've done. No, you just got to go back.
I'd give it all up for Dale, man. I
Pasta,
would.
pasta,
Yeah.
go for the whole way. We had problems with the law after all those college kids were killed. And we are now groundskeepers at a hotel off the coast of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Jekyll Island,
which is a real place.
It's a real place, and that's where Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde come from. But Jekyll Island is, and it's always been sort of cloak and daggery type of heads of industry that go
like
out
Illuminati
there.
goes up
Illuminati.
there. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that happen there. But they're the groundskeepers.
Yeah.
Someone is killed. We find the dead body, and we have to cover it up, we think, because we're going to be blamed for it because we killed
PTSD, man.
Yeah, everybody thinks we're killers. While we're covering up one death, more deaths are happening, and it's looking more like us. And so we get caught up in it that way.
Yeah.
We aren't going, why are people killing themselves all over our property this time? We're just trying to save our asses.
Multiple murders, yeah.
Well,
There's a sheriff who we have an attraction to. There was a whole...
Yeah, there was another groundskeeper.
You didn't stick with your girlfriend?
We did have, there's been so many iterations. Not in the TV show. In the sequel movie, we definitely had a way to tie back in Allison and Chad, I believe. But we also, it was an anthology series. So we were going to do like one season was Tucker and Dale on Jekyll Island. Then it was going to be like Tucker and Dale versus aliens, Tucker and Dale versus...
Yeah, we were going to allow for actual ghosts and things.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, TBS went away, but is that dead? Because you guys aren't, no offense, you're not on NBC primetime shows right now.
No. Thank you for reminding me.
No.
I think what happened was, and this is pretty typical, is that like, I think most people feel when the window closes, it closes. And we did have a moment there where we were talking with Morgan and I can't remember their names now. We were like, hey, what about pitching it elsewhere? And they were like kind of disheartened enough that they were like, I don't think so.
They had a lot of projects going.
Yeah.
They were like spinning a lot of plates. Like, which one of these is going to...
We had a pretty like a large showrunner attached to it. Had a whole bunch of other things that he was working on. And but it would have been cool. It would have been a really cool project.
But there's no chance of bringing it back from the dead.
There's more of a chance of a film version than... And I guess the film version could borrow that.
Yeah, because I was just going to say that premise would work as a movie.
We had written like a Hills Have Eyes based, we started to write the Hills Have Eyes based sort of sequel years ago. Then it became the Tucker and Dale Go to Yale.
Tucker and Dale Go to Yale.
Which is kind of the one that's stuck.
We were saying that on set while we were doing number one.
Yeah.
Doing the
movie.
Midstream, we were saying that. And then we actually picks up with Tucker and Dale just getting out of prison.
Yeah, and that's we were going to explain that I'm all jacked because
he's all jacked because he's been in prison.
I got tattoos all over.
And I've spent my incarceration in an insane asylum because I convinced them that I'm it was insanity.
Mentally incompetent.
And I get addicted to a lot of pills.
Yeah.
So I come out high as a kite. So that's part of my journey is I have to
like, what happened to you?
Come back to reality.
It sounds
so we both have
what
the fuck happened to you? And it also explains like the years and we look different and we've got ideas, but like it's just hard to make.
Yeah, but do you think there's a chance for an actual movie sequel? Because I know, like, I feel like a few months ago you told me, like, that.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, there has been a comical. Yeah, we don't have time, but the story of how many times we've gotten to a place where it's like, we could do it, and then reasons why we don't. And then like deaths and like all these, just like things.
It's
just kind of
get in the way.
The business these days is really wackadoo.
Yeah,
I mean it's always been changing, but it's so
we couldn't
much.
sell this movie right now if we tried. I don't think, but that's right now.
With things changing though, it's like with the internet, and I feel like we talked about it before the show. You have all these people, these generations looking back, playing all the video games that were great, looking back at all the movies that were solid.
Definitely like a nostalgia for Tucker and Dale.
It feels like it's still building. Yeah.
Something really interesting too, though, is this Korean handsome guys.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Ariel said, well, look, they just ripped you guys off. And she was like, why don't you, if they make a sequel, because they probably will, we just rip off their sequel.
Well, they didn't rip us off.
They did get the rights to
They got the rights.
Yeah. That's what I mean, but not rip us off, but paid homage legally.
Crazy. They did. It was such a good movie that they remade the movie in Korean.
In Korean, yeah. And it was a smash over there, from what I understand. So,
this is you guys right here.
Is that me? Oh, that's you.
That's me.
Okay, I'm driving.
This does something weird to me.
You have not seen the movie?
No, I probably will at one point, but like, I don't know how that makes you feel. There's like
it's weird.
It's weird, but there's also like, I'm like, that movie wouldn't exist without the thing that we made,
I've also heard that like comedy sometimes is a hard thing to translate, you know, like culture wise. And the fact that they obviously love it, you know, they love Tucker and Dale so much that they.
Guess so, man. Or they were just like, we think we can make a version of this that the Korean people would love.
Yeah.
Weird. But just weird to be like in a movie that's like, you know what I mean? It's that sort of this never ending kind of relevance of the movie. Like even like the going to conventions and the fans and.
So it's wild. There are so many movies that you put a ton of money into, huge stars, all the smartest, best, most accomplished people try to make it into something that people will like, and it's crap.
Yeah.
There are things in it that are crap, but it still works.
Yeah.
When Tucker, my character, saws into the beehive, I, on the day, and as per the script, just was like, those are my lines. The way that the VFX worked, they weren't really great on the bees because they didn't have the right amount of money for it. So the director, Eli, just did a crappy quick VO going bees.
Bees. It's in the movie.
That's in the movie. It's in the trailer. It's in the movie.
It's buried in a bunch of like bee sounds.
But that isn't me.
I did that in a student film. I went bang with a gun and I left it in the final edit. I didn't know that was a pro thing.
Yes.
Bees.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that. There's shit like that. Yeah.
Bees.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tucker saying bees.
Yeah,
bees.
But that's also
how it should be done.
But that's kind of the charm of it. Having it be a genre movie, I think, plays into that. Like you forgive all that stuff, and because it has the heart, because it has and the comedy. It's like no one cares.
Well, I want to ask you this, though, Alan, because this is more of an emotional, a vulnerable sort of take on this. Is like the importance of this film for me, because I've been in like something like 55 movies or 60 movies or something. Most of them I do not care for. They're not, I'm not very proud of them. And I shouldn't, you know what I mean? Just not everything you're in is great. I think Tucker and Dale is one of the movies that I'm the most proud of, but you have many movies that have been very well received and critically well received. And like, where does the Tucker and Dale sit in your canon, in your appreciation level for films that you've participated in?
I like it very, very much because it's humor and because it's a comedy and it worked. Like there are things that are just really funny to me in that. When we started out, we had said we have to play it real. And so many times in comedies, it can easily, like there's all those really spoofy movies where it just gets silly.
Handsome Guys.
Handsome Guys gets really silly. They're not, it has to be real scary for the characters.
Yeah.
So that the people can laugh at them. And, we were allowed to do that. Yeah. And it maintains pretty much throughout. So I'm proud of that.
That's cool.
And I have another movie that I put it right next to Death at a Funeral, which is another movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about a remake, right?
They remade it in America.
That's right.
So it didn't work. Because it was supposed to get released and all the promises that the studio made, they said, well, we're not going to do what we said.
Right.
Yeah. That movie's funny.
And it's a funny,
great.
I
mean, your role in that movie is the best.
It's not in it that much. It's a flashy
but you're in your
role.
own thing. You have this, like, you have your own movie going on. It's amazing. I mean, for
there's a part. So when we did Death at a Funeral, the English version, Frank Oz directed it, and I got to go around because I was one of the only Americans. Peter Dinklage was working. We were doing this sort of groundswell hope of promoting this thing. We would go do showings and all these screenings. And I got to go around with Frank and do all these screenings.
Oh, Frank Oz! Oh my God, like my hero!
So fantastic, yeah.
I just showed my 15-year-old Dirty Rotten Scoundrels for the first time, which is one of my all-time favorite Frank Oz movies.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah, and I showed her Little Shop of Horrors too, and she was just like, "These are amazing." I was like, "This is Frank Oz, man."
Little Shop of Horrors.
It's my favorite. It's the only musical I actually love.
I can turn you on to some other ones. Musicals.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a classic farce. It's a 3-act farce. They set it up in the first act, and then everything. It's like getting all these balls in the air, and they just start coming down. It's a funeral that's going wrong. There's an old man, Uncle Alfie, who needs to go to the bathroom because he's got to shit, and he needs to come in, but there's a dead body in there, and they've got to hide the dead body, and the agoraphobic has to help Uncle Alfie off with his underwear, and he gets shit on his. All these things start happening, and the laughs in the theater were just rolling. Yeah. It was so much fun to be a part of, to just sit there and watch these audiences lose it.
Yeah.
Because so many comedies don't make you laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're funny. You know, they're supposed to be funny.
They're
yeah.
amusing.
Yeah.
But to actually make you laugh,
Yeah.
and Tucker and Dale does that. There's
Yeah.
moments where you laugh.
Man, when
You
we
laugh out
watched that
loud.
for the first time, we thought, the first time I saw it with an audience was at Sundance. That was my first time and my only
Really?
time going to Sundance.
Yeah.
Just so funny that's the one and
Mine
only
too.
time I've been to
I
Sundance
think
was for
mine
Tucker
too.
and Dale. I remember when I got that phone call, it was 1 a.m. Eli called and he was like, we're going to Sundance. I was like, what? He was like, Tucker and Dale got into Sundance. Anyway,
We had
when we watched it with the audience and it was like, people were just, it was like nonstop laughing and oohs and ahs. And because there's like gore in it, people were like, oh my God, and then laughing at the gore. And it is very satisfying to watch with people. Yeah.
They built some really good laughs in that.
And then
Yeah.
like people ask me all the time, like, how much of that did you guys improvise? And I'm like, a fair bit. And I've watched it again
You did,
recently.
for
yeah,
sure.
We did together quite a bit, but there was like, it was more paraphrasing. But there are some in there, there are moments in there with like, I don't want to start like quoting our own movie, but
don't do it.
One of the moments where we're being attacked by the college kids and we're lying on the floor and we're talking about, I don't even like fishing. And you're
Yeah.
like, you don't like fishing? And we have this emotional thing. And then I steamroll over top of your body, which was totally improvised.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh God, you're all over. And then later in the film,
Really hit my nuts.
Yeah.
Really hit my nuts.
And then
not acting.
when you shoot the nail gun and it
Yeah.
just, or I do, and it just misses you, and your reaction is just, whoa. And it's just genius. And then you roll away later, and I say, your hat, you hold your hat on, and I say, yeah, keep your hat. It's in the movie. Because you and I both through the whole movie, we were like, wouldn't their hats come off at some point? Like they just got these hats on. And so it's in the movie that you rolling away and I just say, keep your hat. You and I were talking on the phone and you were in Texas visiting your family. And we're talking about like my dad recently, like last year, almost died from a bone cancer. And he had this really horrific operation where they removed his pec and his ribs, and they took this giant ball of cancer out of his body. And
Holy smokes.
before he did that, I went out to Ontario to visit him, and I intentionally took him to a beach in Bobcaygeon, which is a beautiful part of Northern Ontario. And I sort of made amends to him about anything that I felt like I did sort of wrong in my career as his son. It was not what I wanted to do, but I felt like it was what I could do, you know, to help repair a relationship that had been kind of strained and damaged for a long time. And it was really impactful. And then it cannot be understated that him almost dying really brought a certain sense of urgency to being in a different place with my dad
Yeah.
than I have been for a long time. And it's been really good. There's still things there that are difficult for us to navigate, like this podcast. He wasn't happy how much I talk about him on this podcast, but we've reached a place where now he's kind of like, hey, that's cool, man. I get it. You do what you need to do. And you were saying you have had a similar thing with your dad recently where the clock is kind of has sped up a little bit and you're.
He got pneumonia and it was scary.
Yeah.
There was a healthcare worker who really came through because they needed to take a bunch of fluid out of his lungs. And they were like, we'll do it Monday. And it was Saturday.
Ooh.
This healthcare worker came in and looked at all of his stuff and said, this needs to be done now.
Right.
And convinced everyone to do it now. And then after they did it, they went, oh yeah, gosh, if we hadn't done that, I don't think he would have made it through Monday. And it's like, do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
You're admitting
Yeah.
your own incompetence. So it was scary. You know, dads get older. I come from Texas, man, you know, where male and female, there's a whole manly thing that happens. And I was not the man. My brother played football. My brother took those jobs.
Right. He was the manly.
He was the
one,
manly.
yeah.
He had a lot of trophies that were like, you know, baseball, and his
Number one
soccer team
man.
was really
Yeah.
good. And he did all of that stuff. I'm not good with balls.
Yeah. Me neither.
Everybody says that about me.
Yeah.
Alan's
Can't handle balls.
Got no balls.
No ball
He
handling.
can't handle balls. Does he even have them? But and I was a little troubled of a kid in a way, just because I hated conformity. I hated football. I grew up in a school that was really big, or went to a school system that was really big, and it was very authoritarian in its approach, and I bristled against it, and I would like go to high school, man. God, I'd wear sombreros. I would dress so crazy to school.
We would have been friends in high school.
Yeah, man. The sombrero was People knew me from my sombrero because it was this massive sombrero that I got from a friend. And it was velvet. It was black velvet with gold sequins all over. It was massive. And I'd wear it into class just to be I was a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Right. Like, Alan,
take the
you need to take your hat off. What hat?
No hats in school.
What hat? Your sombrero. I left home in this. And it doesn't fit under the desk. It wouldn't fit under, so I would have to then put it at the front of the room. And I loved having it displayed in the front of the class for the whole class.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved it. I loved that. Oh, God, I would get my ass kicked anywhere but white bread suburbia where I grew up. If I had a zit, I circled it. I did this a couple of times. Circled the zit and wrote zit in ballpoint pen because I couldn't cover it. Yeah. And I was too insecure about it, so I just had to announce it.
You get out in front of it, man. That's what I did with my weight. You make a big show of it. Yeah.
Big ballpoint pen.
Yeah, around. I did like the whistling belly button trick everywhere I went. I could make my belly button fart on walls, or glass, especially glass, like doorways to classes. If I just put a little spit on my belly button, it's a good little trick.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's funny.
I would have been in the front row.
No one can make fun of it then. They're like, he's doing it himself.
I could probably do that now.
You probably could. I still could. I'm sure I could. I have the deepest fucking belly button. I can literally stick my entire pinky up to my, past my second
even
knuckle.
now?
Yeah.
Even in your thing?
It's not because it's not the weight. I just have they tied me funny. My knot's weird. Anyway, you were rebelling. Your brother was more conforming to the way of the Texas life, and your dad was a little more that way.
I used to do this thing also in high school called I called myself the People's Poet, and there was a group of people that when I wanted to, I'd write a poem, and it's like throughout the day, I'd hold it up to people. Hey, I got a poem today. I got a poem, and then they would gather between. It's like 6th and 7th period in this one part of the hallway, and I would read my poem at the top of my lungs. It was a lot of them were damn it. They involved damn it.
Emphatic.
Yeah, I hate Valentine's Day, damn it. Homecoming Queen sucks, damn it. But I guess I wasn't shy. I was
you were a performer. It sounds like you were a performer. Yeah, you liked the attention, but you were also maybe rebelling against. I'm familiar with the. It's like show them everything, but also show them nothing. And you put on the show, and you can kind of hide in there somewhere. And I was that way.
So, but then was that hard to relate to your dad?
Oh yeah, that wasn't anything that he had done or experienced. And like a lot of people in Texas, they would see me. Even without the sombrero on or whatever, they would go, "You're a smart ass." And I spent a lot of time running for my life. There were people who really hated me for being a smart ass.
You couldn't help it.
Oh my God.
Couldn't stop it if you tried. Yeah.
No.
You're still kind of that way, right?
Yeah. I stole a bunch of lancets from biology. I used to see how much I could steal from my teachers' desks while they were there. I was troubled that way.
Yeah.
And these lancets were flat. They were to prick your finger because we were testing our blood in biology back then. And I would keep some in my wallet. And if I ever needed to leave class, I'd just prick my finger, stick it up my nose, and run it down my lip. And then just be like, I got a bloody nose. I got to get out of here and go to the nurse. And the nurse knew me.
Shaking her head.
Another bloody nose? Yeah. What's going on? There's a test. I don't want to take the test. I just want to be here.
Were your grades decent in school?
No. I barely graduated high school. Eek. Because I didn't, if I didn't like a teacher, I made it my job to show them that they aren't good at their job. We were just terrible. It was a bad move because they're the ones that give you grades.
Yeah, but, they're the ones who ultimately decide.
I remember waiting in my senior year to see if I graduated, if I passed my English class.
But then Juilliard didn't look at those transcripts.
Juilliard was the perfect place.
No bearing. Yeah.
There is a bachelor's that you can get there. People get a bachelor's. I did not. I left after my 3rd year. I was like, I'm out. I can't take it anymore. I have a job. But we were in the humanities part of the degree. I was in a class. It was rhythmic drumming. We were in a big studio and we were rhythmic drumming. The teacher, the doctor, was doing rhythmic drumming. We were all going into trance state to go find the power animals,
right?
The shamanic power animals of our partner because you can't find your own power animal.
No.
You got to do it for somebody else. So I was this young ballet dancer named Jeremy. I was in a trance to go find his power animal, which surprisingly was an antelope since he was a dancer.
Graceful, I can see it.
And that prick said mine was a peacock. I was like, oh, fuck you, peacock.
If you could pick or discover your own power animal, what would it be?
A dick. No,
a dick.
I like a dick. Well, I'm a Tudyk, so that's
right.
that
Two
is
dicks.
my.
Yeah.
I think of that as my power.
Is there an
animal.
animal called a dick?
It's a little bitty deer-like thing. They're so cute, and they have little bitty feet, and they mate for life.
And this is what you feel.
Oh, there we go.
Who you
There's
are,
a dick.
Spelled differently than DYK. I was hoping it would be a DYK.
Yeah, I don't know.
dick.
Some
Wow.
fish, pine marten.
Okay, a pine marten. I don't know what that is.
Well,
either,
it's
but
it's almost like a weasel or a mink, but it's a little bigger.
I can see
lives
like
in
a honey
trees.
badger.
They're
Yeah.
European
kind of-
pine
Yeah,
marten.
there
Oh,
you go. I can
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
used
probably
to-
really wild. It's like wily and impish.
I used to have one of those taxidermied. I got a lot of taxidermy
my
when I was in
God.
New York because I love the Natural History Museum, and
I do too.
and it was great to come into your apartment and just be surrounded by animals from in New York. I found. And I had this,
Taxidermy.
Your own diorama of
I had a lot, and
that.
I had a pine marten up on the wall, and then I had a mink also that was on a coffee table, and I was doing a play with Amy Sedaris, and she came over. She would do the voices of the characters.
Oh my God.
And she goes, She was the voice of the pine marten looking at the mink. Look at that. Pussy no bigger than a chicken's tongue.
I love Amy Sedaris.
Isn't that gross and awesome?
Yeah.
I'm glad you bring out stories that
Yeah, you
no
have
business being told.
I love that you can recall like specific quotes like that from like
that's so
Yeah, well, that's a
perfectly-
pretty
Yeah.
good quote.
perfectly funny
Yeah.
and bizarre.
And- but the visual of it is like, yeah.
No bigger than a
chicken's
chicken's tongue.
Yeah. And to be like turned on by that. Yeah, that's what I was for.
Yes.
Well, the pine marten was looking
Yes,
for.
the pine marten was.
Yeah.
I was not.
Not you,
anyway,
not you.
Whatever.
All right, so probably don't want to talk a lot about your dad. I'm
My
guessing,
dad,
but-
it's difficult. My dad and I are buddies these days.
Yeah.
I'm helping out some. You know, I am in my family. I'm lucky enough to be. My brother lives in Vienna and my sister lives in Boston, and I have a little more ability to just jump on a plane
Right. Yeah.
when they need me, and so I'm going down there a lot. So
Yeah.
I think I understand why people stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
I get that being part of that community and being part of it. It can be, you know, it's home.
Yeah.
There's a seduction to that. Seduction's maybe the wrong word, but there's
No, I get what you mean though.
you
Yeah.
know, to just be there and be a part and be of service to your family and be helpful. And now I realized this is the first time I spent this much time with my family since I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And definitely when I was in my 20s, I was not like happy to be there.
Right.
Like, get me out.
Obligations. Yeah.
That was when I left and went to New York.
Are you finding, like you said, seductive? But I mean, are you finding like a balance in there somewhere? Like my whole family lives back in Toronto,
Wow.
back east, and then when I see them, I find this like, not that I'm like always out of whack, but there's like this true north sort of feeling when I go home, where I'm like, whoa. I mean, my dad and I had a complicated relationship. He's still my dad. I see him. I feel this peace that I don't feel elsewhere.
I see how much I am my dad.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to him, hey, we're the same. So it's probably a good idea if you did these things. Like it comes from that place of, man,
Yeah.
this is what works for me. And you're not doing that. You should be doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he listens to me because he appreciates my opinion or he's just kind of like, I don't have any more defenses. I'm
Right.
old enough that I have to listen to what you say sometimes
Yeah.
because I need you to do that other thing I need you to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Tit for tat at this point.
And he's got great tits.
Oh,
Everybody knows
and
that
you
about
got
my
great
dad.
tats.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Dads, man. And Reed, I know
Yeah,
you.
it's all right. We can, I got an old dad too.
Yeah.
And, we've had some health scares and and I think I really have come to it just to like accept him and just acknowledge the relationship for what it is and not have to project onto like my fantasy relationship of what my dad would be like,
Right,
and
right.
just and appreciate him for who he is.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the journey of like being a dad myself, of like realizing, oh yeah, he's just a guy who had a kid.
Yeah.
And you know, you like, okay, I get it. That's hard. And he's still just a guy, and he's still just, you know, that person that he was before I even existed.
Is this our generation that has this relationship? Because I think that sucks.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a good
That
question.
it's like, I've accepted who he is. And I mean,
Well, yeah, but I mean, what else? I mean, should I not accept it?
no, you should accept
Yeah.
it. But
why didn't we all along?
I mean, yeah, you're a father. You're a father.
Yeah.
Do you accept your children and support
course.
them and try to,
Of course.
did you have that?
No. I mean, yeah. Well,
Yes and no. I think my mom was always very accepting. My dad, I think there were moments when I felt like he wasn't accepting, because I think he just had to bristle at a few things.
Yeah.
But then when I look back, I'm like, oh no, he still was like, okay, you want to go to art school? I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, like he was very supportive in the way that he was, and like supported the weird ways that I ultimately wanted to live my life. He's been very supportive, but I also think he was like, well, couldn't you just have gone to optometry school like I did? And you know, I think he had that, and I think I think he probably took a journey with me to be like, oh, you know, maybe I'm putting my dreams onto this guy, and he has to be himself. But then I think as I've gotten older, you know, and he's expressed, oh, I'm proud of you, and you know, we've had the stuff, and so again, just kind of exist in the relationship as it is, and just like, I can't like go super deep with him, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I had a date with a woman one time, and she was like, she had a child, and I was like, oh, that's great. She's like, you don't have any children? I said, no. Why not? I was like, oh, because you give everything over to them, and it's, you know, you can't help it. You are in charge. That's your job, and you make all the sacrifices for them, and you do everything you can to make them to help them and protect them. And then when they become teenagers, they grow up, they're like, I only want to spend 4 days with them max when I go home. You know, they don't like you. And it's what a waste. And she was like, that date was over in that moment. I was like, we're skipping the appetizers. Ooh. But there is a little bit of like, is there a way that, there's got to be people out there that the kids are like, I want to be home.
You
and
hope, man. I mean, you're like, my daughter's 15 now. Maya's 15.
Yeah.
And like, we still hang, but it's, you know, she's in her room a lot more now, but she's still sweet. But like, I've said this before, parenting is like the longest, slowest heartbreak of all time. It's just this, you're just teaching them to leave. You're preparing them and equipping them to leave. And it's fucking heartbreaking. But I think, to your point, like, did I have the support so that I didn't have to take this 20-year period where I was like, I don't want to be around you guys.
Yeah.
I had some of it, like Reed, but my dad and I just were so similar. We butted heads so badly. And my dad also did some things and left our family and did some things that were out of my control that made me very angry with him. So I didn't feel like I even had a dad for a long time. So it's weird. I know what you're saying. Like, is it generational that we all kind of like,
I don't know.
we've abandoned our family for
you know what I just realized is I'm seeing myself as an innocent in this.
right. Yeah.
I'm not at all.
No.
I mean, when you're a kid, you're
I
innocent.
was challenging for my dad, man.
You are who you are when you're little, but you know, there was a certain point where I was difficult.
Actively, like my dad, I don't think was aware of some of the things that he was doing to make my life challenging.
Yes.
It was just what he was dealt with. I was actively like punching my dad in the face and stealing the car.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah, that's
smoking
hard,
smoking
yeah.
on the balcony while my family was eating dinner, and you know, like just shit to like anything I could do to be like, you know.
And then you busted out the sombrero.
Yeah, and then the
Yes,
sombrero,
it's
and it was. I was not an easy.
I think for me and my parents, I feel very lucky that I get to be the unexpected kid that came back and is helping.
Yeah.
I'm the one that like that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's the beauty of it, the journey of the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. This evolving relationship with our parents, with dad specifically for me, is like it's maybe the most unpredictable journey in my life.
right.
This thing that I thought would be this constant through my life and then wasn't, and then there was all this tumult and then coming back to a place where my dad is becoming one of the most important people, or always was, and I'm realizing again, and then like I'm sure at one point I will head back to Ontario to be taking care of him at one point because I feel like that's the kind of son I am and want to be. But yeah, it's like that journey is not, I have zero control over that journey. And neither does he. It's just this kind of, I think it's the letting go. It's the acceptance of what it is, which is what you were saying.
Yeah.
And not just accepting who my dad is, because yes, we put our parents on pedestals. It's kind of impossible not to, but just accepting of the current situation.
Yeah.
And the current of the whole
Well,
thing.
and I think just the most important thing I think is just to like take whatever you can out of that.
Yeah.
And take whatever joy you can find out of that. And just because it doesn't measure up to your dream, it's just like, well, this is what it is. So you can either like try to enjoy this and try to spend the time and try to whatever, just have a nice moment with your dad, or you can not. I mean, those are the options.
Yeah, like you choose. Exactly. I say that a lot to
You know?
my partner. Like you at this point, it's your choice whether you want to have a relationship with them or not, a better relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And I choose to.
I'm getting a lot out of my relationship now.
That's good, man. Yeah.
That's great.
It's a good feeling. Well, thanks for talking about that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, and thank you for everything. I mean, we really got to
we have
wrap
to
it
get back
up.
to Ohio and pick up our children.
Yeah, but we also
kids.
Yeah, so
Gotta go pick up our children. I have a new puppy.
You got a new
I
pup?
have my child.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
the
name's
New York
Maximus.
puppy. Maximus.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Can't believe
He's
you're moving to New York
amazing.
like right away.
Soon, yeah.
So thank you to Studio 1042 for our producers. We appreciate
you
you so
guys.
much. And of course, our audience. Well, I'm going to thank you too, Alan. But our audience, and especially our patrons on Patreon.
Jonathan Newman, our top tier love
our
bug.
top love bug. You guys are making this show happen, and you've been with us here through thick and thin. And we're coming back strong with this new season. We
two.
got so many great guests lined up.
Tell a friend.
Tell many friends.
Tell many friends.
And thanks for everyone subbing on YouTube. You know, we finally hit our monetization barrier, so we're very happy about that. And then Alan Tudyk,
Woo!
Yeah.
what a treat.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Enjoy
you.
that, editors.
Yeah. That is by far our longest record, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we love you so much, everybody.
Love you guys.